Welcome back, everyone, to the Librarium of Ludus Infinium. Today on 30k Lore, we'll be talking about why and how it was so easy to turn Horus Lupercal to chaos. Now, this will be based on the first two books in the Horus Heresy series, Horus Rising and False Gods. And it will be from the point of first contact with the Interrex to his corruption on Davin. Let's get ready, folks. This is the story of how Horus fell. So to start with, we see a great amount of self-doubt and doubt in the Imperium's methods from Horus when he talks with the Interrex. He is intrigued by their working with Xenos and their choice to force the Mega Arachnids onto the planet of murder instead of driving them to extinction. He also shares with Garviel Loken and Little Horse Axeman that he had made two major mistakes since receiving the title of Warmaster, before the conflict on 6319 or Terra. On the conflict on Terra, or 6319, now, his argument is he should have done more to achieve a diplomatic solution. But Loken says they were never going to go that route. Even though Loken defends the option of going to war with the inhabitants of 6319, Horus still says he should have tried harder. The second is when they first arrive on Murder, well, in the system with Murder, and encounter the beacons. Even after he is told they had no way to know the message in the beacons, he maintains the same attitude of, I should have tried harder and failed. Normally this might not be as big of an issue if diplomacy with the Interrex hadn't completely devolved, thanks fucking Erebus, to outright war. When Horus meets back up with Loken, Loken notices that Horus saying under his breath, Father, why have you tasked me with this? This is too much. Why have you forsaken me? At this point, he feels there's another failure on his part, and it throws him into a state of great melancholy. Unfortunately, this would be used against him. After essentially the destruction of the Interrex, Erebus tells Horus that his longtime comrade and trusted companion, Eugene Timba, who was left in charge of the Davin system, had turned against him and the Emperor by interrupting him. Smart, Erebus. Why don't you just go fucking die in a hole? By the way, speaking of shit I don't like, now, I went over my favorite Astartes in all of 40k lore, which is Karn the Betrayer. Erebus has also been around for the same amount of time, and no one has killed him yet. Can we make that happen, please? Can someone please, for the love of God, kill Erebus? They killed Ferrus Manus. They killed fucking Conrad Kurz, the Nighthaunter. Can someone please take out fucking Lorgar and Erebus? Anyway, the combination of being interrupted and being told that one of his most trusted commanders had defected had tweaked Horus's nerves in a major way. Upon arriving to Davin, Horus saw there was no conflict, and discovered, by ways of Erebus, that Timba was actually on Davin's moon. When they got to Davin's moon, they noted that in 60 years it went from being a lush forest to an almost all-encompassing swamp. There's nothing wrong with that picture. That happens over the course of 60 years. Yeah, sure. To an entire planetoid. Anyway, Timba's ship, the Glory of Terra, had crashed onto the moon. It had also started to decay, because, that shit's normal. Also, I want to point this out. This was a capital ship. This was not getting back off the moon. Once it entered the atmosphere, it was now a permanent resident. Fun. After his confrontation with Timba, and Timba's subsequent release from the clutches of chaos, Timba warns Horus of the future to come a future where the Emperor is dead and there would be only war in humanity's future, and that Horus is the only one who can stop it. However, during the battle, Tamba stabs Horus with the Anathane blade. Thank you again, fucking Erebus. Which caused such damage to Horus he had to be interned into the Serpent Lodge on Davin, where Horus would reach the crossroads on whether he would be corrupted, or if he would, or honestly even could, fight against it. Yay! Horus gonna go to a crossroads! With his spirit sent to the warp, Horus was shown a vision by Erebus, who had disguised himself as Hestor Serjanus. We remember him from the very beginning of Horus Rising, getting his head cut off for being a little too perfect and a little bit too much to the point. Of a shrine world dedicated to the Emperor. He noticed the statue of the Emperor surrounded by statues of 9 of his brothers. Sanguinius, Rogel Dorn, Leman Russ, Rebute Gilliman, fuck him, Corvus Corex, Lionel Johnson, Ferrus Manus, Vulcan, and Jagatai Khan. He was troubled that another 9 of the Emperor's sons were missing. Mortarion, Angron, Fulgrim, Magnus, did nothing wrong, Nighthaunter, Alfarius, Perturabo, Lorgar, fuck him, and the Emperor's regent, Horus himself. Erebus told Horus it was because the Emperor had betrayed them and was trying to destroy all religions so his own could rise above them, still disguised as Serjanus. While in the warp, Magnus came to Horus to try and keep him loyal to the Emperor. And in his attempts, Erebus revealed who Magnus really was, and vice versa. This infuriated Horus to no end. And because Magnus had broken the judgment of the Council of Nicaea, it actually pushed Horus right into the arms of chaos by showing that the Emperor had no control over it. It was really the last straw. And then, with his decision to side with Chaos, they healed him up. He walks out of the Serpent Lodge. And everyone is happy to see that he is alive. I mean, he is their gene father. They're like, yay, Daddy's back! And he does a couple of things. He pushes away Loken and Torgadon and keeps Abaddon and Axaman close. And in fact, keeps Surgar close. I believe that's right. Who is the Lodge Master of the Warrior Lodge to the Lunar Wolves. Who also, funny I said that, one of the other first things that Horus does upon exiting the Serpent Lodge is rename the Lunar Wolves to the Sons of Horus. And instead of being white with black trim, they are now green with gold trim, I believe? I could have that completely wrong. This is a start where it goes so quickly, I just kind of get a little bit lost, a little bit. And this is how Horus gets corrupted. And at this point, he goes off to pull together Fulgrim, Mortarion, and Angron, and they all meet up for a little picnic on Istvan 3. And we will be talking about Istvan 3 next week. Because, I was planning on talking about going into Istvan 3 on this one, but I think I'm going to give it its own video. And the reason is because it is so hard-hitting that I do not want to give it the injustice of just kind of lumping it in. But to give a quick rundown, Horus, Fulgrim, Angron, and Mortarion split up their legions between who they think will remain loyal to them and who they think is still loyal to the Emperor. And they send the loyalists to the Emperor down on Istvan, and for the most part, almost completely wipe them out. But again, I'll be going into more detail about the lead up to Istvan 3 and Istvan 3 itself in next week's episode. So with that being said, I appreciate everyone who made it this far. I really, really do appreciate it. This past week alone has been probably my best week on YouTube. This past month has been my best month on YouTube, and I would not have gotten this far without all of you. So if you want to support the channel and you're new, please subscribe, leave a like, do all that fun stuff. Join the Discord. Leave suggestions for either games you want to see, lore videos you would like to see, or ways to make the videos better. Or if you can and want to support the channel in a monetary way, there's always a Patreon and a Streamlabs in the description. But the most important thing of all, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!